All right, we got Team Hillbilly here, but before we get started with this interview, Jeff, I need for you to reach behind you into that climb bag there, and let's get that climb bag out. And open that up. There's a little something for you fellas in there. Being from my home state of Kentucky.
Oh boy.
And I got a little something for you to drink in there too.
Yeah, wait. No? Yeah, I will.
There's a bottle opener in there for you.
No LA. I can't do it. Sorry, guys.
All right.
It's all good.
So, you got your AL81 going there, and you got your coonskin caps. I couldn't find any moon pies, but hopefully you fellas feel right at home right now. So, tell me about your day one.
Awesome. It was an absolute blast.
Good deal.
Good. We had a good time. The weather was way better than expected.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah. Perfect.
We couldn't ask for better weather.
It looks like you rode well. Your intervals look pretty good. You said you had some rain going up Robert's Roost.
Yeah.
What stood out about day one to you?
Well, I don't know. Those are probably the longest climbs I've ever done.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
28,000 feet on the first day. It's a long ways. The
Yeah.
first one, I think, is the longest, that climb right after you cross the highway down there.
Yeah.
I think it's up to Weston Peak, if I'm not mistaken. It's either Buck Peak or Weston Peak. So you're taking the day off tomorrow in Pocatello. Looking forward to the rest of the tour. What are you looking forward to in a good and a bad way moving ahead?
I'm not looking forward to the desert.
Even though it's going to be raining and like 75 degrees out there?
That'll make it better, but yeah, you know, it's kind of the low point for me. I suspect. I don't know. Maybe it'll be nirvana if it's all just, you know, good and wet and everything.
Good luck. I'm not looking forward to the monkey butt.
To the what?
Monkey butt.
Monkey butt. Yeah. That's a little bit of an issue as well.
But as far as looking, man, I'm an open mind. I'm just looking forward to every single day.
So you guys have 2 challenge sections you have to do. What are you thinking about?
Definitely 6
Yeah.
and probably 7.
Maybe 2, depending on how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was telling these guys that I think 2 would be a good one to do tomorrow, because tomorrow you don't care what time you get out to the desert. It'll be just fine.
Okay.
It'll be cool out there and fairly easy. Then day 2 is not that great of a challenge section, but it is one of the easier ones. It's kind of cool, you know. It adds some trail, it adds some single track to your tour, and you don't miss anything because you come back out 20 feet away from the place where you went in. So it's just a great big kind of an out and back, but it's a loop instead of just a strict out and back.
Cool.
So we had 2 teams wash out today, or I should say retire. Wash out is a pejorative term I don't want to use because they really gave a good effort. But our soloist today had an issue with a hand, and he had to drop out and lull. And then Team Wild Wild West, they ran into some really cold soaking rain up there.
Oh.
And those guys had to retire. You guys look like you're pretty well equipped. Those are Dakars, aren't they, that you're wearing over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be fine in the
We got
stuff
Vortex
that you got.
jackets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This time of year, you have to really take into account the fact that you can be cold is as much of an issue as the heat.
Yeah.
And the thing about heat is you can kind of, it's hard when you're working through it, but I haven't heard of anybody burning to death in the heat. You know, maybe you get heat stroke or something, but I've heard of plenty of people getting hypothermia and having bad things happen to them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. Roger's watching. There's a user that had some questions here.
Yes.
That he wants me to ask.
Is it Randy Block?
I don't know what it is. He's got kind of a square head, if that helps you any.
All right, that explains it.
All right, and the question from this user who wishes to remain anonymous but does have kind of a square head is, first question is for Jeff. He's heard that you do some sort of an adventure ride in Kentucky. Can you tell us all about it?
Yeah, I put something together called the Kentucky Adventure Tour. It's about a 1,000-mile loop around eastern Kentucky. Sort of like this, connecting trails with less little blacktop as possible. It's not quite as hardcore as this, but it's definitely leans towards the dual sport side and not so much the adventure side.
All right, thank you. Second question from a user who wishes to remain anonymous but does have kind of a square-looking head is this one's for Kent. He wants to know, how many thousands of waypoints did you put in your track?
Oh Lord,
For the whole thing?
that I didn't add any, but my tracks are probably the most dense that anybody that's ever rolled up here. I can say that.
Yeah, so you actually have real tracks, not just routes.
Yes. And I mean, sometimes they're as close as maybe every 10, 20 yards.
Yeah, I looked at it today. It looks like you could jump from, if they were in the ocean, you could hop from one to the other and never get your feet wet in an entire crossing of the Atlantic or the Pacific. In fact, any of the 7 major bodies of water on this planet, you would not suffer at all the inconvenience of getting your shoelaces the least bit wet.
I packed it full.
You did pack it full.
I packed it full.
All right. Anything else you want to say to all these folks that are watching? There's quite a few of them.
Come out and try it. It's a blast.
Indeed. Yes, I agree.
All right.
I agree.
Bye-bye.